is going to have a better understanding, and we are going to have a larger impact surrounding the violent-free election come November 16, 2024. So conversations we are going to create here are critical to nation. So to kick the ball rolling around, we want all who can stand for the national anthem. As a sign of respect, please may we stand or rise for the national anthem of Nigeria, followed by Ondo State's anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please, you may be seated. Once again, you're welcome to this auspicious occasion. This particular program is brought to you by Kimpact Development Initiative in partnership with the police on those states and SCDC on those states with support of UK Commonwealth Development Office. Today is the 15th day in the month of October 2024. If you're calculating, we have barely a month to go to the November 16 gubernatorial election right here in Ondo State. So there is need to create conversations on how we can have a violent-free election come that day. Ladies and gentlemen, to establish the protocol, we want to recognize the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimison Ayedatua, is going to join us very soon. The Deputy Governor, Chief Olaide Owolabi Adelami, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olamide Oladiji, and other lawmakers. The Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Tayo Oluwatuyi Tukana. The AIG Abiodun Ashabi Zone 17. We also want to recognize the presence of the Commissioner of Police, CP Abayomi Peter Oladipo, and his management team. The Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Oluyemi Ibitoye, and his management team, all heads of security agencies, the Royal Fathers, Kimpact Development Initiative Team, Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, CSOs present, religious leaders, the Independent National Electoral Commission, Resident Electoral Commissioner in Ondo State, panelists, Ondo State Peace Mediation Committee, Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, political parties that are present, and their candidates, local government chairmen that are seated, organized labor, youth leaders, NULTW, Realtan, Tricycle Union, Student Union Associations, a member of the press. Once again, we'll say welcome to you, and we appreciate you for coming to this very vital and important occasion. Abraham Lincoln, the former president of the United States, who aspired to be the president but eventually became one, in 1861 said, "The ballot is stronger than the bullet." Also, Thomas Jefferson said, "We have a government, we do not have a government of majority, but we have a majority that participates." So it shows that active participation in election is very important. And one way to ensure we have active participation is to have a violent-free election, and that will make people come out to vote. Ladies and gentlemen, if you check your agenda, the time is fast spent. We have to rush through some of these items so that we can get to the key part of this program. Let me use this opportunity to invite the chairman, Ondo State Peace and Mediation Working Committee, Senior High Chief Shola Adegbami, for opening remarks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me apologize for starting this program late. It's not intentional, it's because of some things that we have to take care of in the States also. Sometimes I don't like coming to an event with paper, but I think my committee said it's better for me to write something. So over the night, I tried to write something, but I will just try and go through that so that this way we can move on. I remember when I was going to the U.S., I was told to prepare. So I went to buy I Love New York t-shirt. I went to buy jeans, thinking that they wear jeans and t-shirts in America. I didn't know what I was doing. So when I got to the airport, I was trying to cross the border. The people were looking at me. I was bouncing. Even from Nigeria, I was bouncing. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Nothing was wrong with me. I was just doing yeah, man there. Until I got to the U.S. Immigration officer, and he was asking me questions about how long are you going to stay, sir? I said, yeah, right. He said, sorry, can you tell me your name? I said, yeah, man. He said, are you crazy? I said, yeah, man. Are you all right, sir? I said, yeah, man. Anyway, I want Orogun ya me fair telling me, but God saved me that day. I was able to escape. So on that note, I welcome you here to this event. And please permit me, I'm not going to be in any order. Let me acknowledge the presence of CP, the Nigerian Police, the Commandant, the Nigerian Civil Defense, and I'll just read here so that this way I don't bore you with my time. Being the text of speech delivered by the Chairman of Ondo State Peace and Mediation Committee, Senior High Chief Shola Adegbami, the Asai of the Kingdom, at the Ondo State Gubernatorial Election Peace and Security Summit on 15th October 2024 at the Ondo State International Event Center. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, esteemed stakeholders, and fellow citizens of Ondo State, it is with pleasure to welcome you here to this convened by the Ondo State Mediation Working Committee under the sponsorship of KDI and in collaboration with all the security agencies in Ondo State to discuss the topic of paramount thought, ensuring peace and security before, during, and after the humanitarian election in Ondo State. As we stand at the threshold of this critical electoral process, we are reminded of the significance of peace and security in shaping the destiny of our beloved state. The forthcoming election presents an opportunity for us to reaffirm our commitment to democratic values, peace, coexistence, and the well-being of our citizens. Today, this was designed as it provides a platform for constructive engagement, stakeholder collaboration, and collective responsibility. We must recognize that the success of our democratic process hinges on our ability to maintain peace, stability, and national cohesion. Foster awareness and of electoral process, both our responsibility and the importance of peaceful participation. It is therefore the need for this fast approaching gubernatorial election. Mediation Working Committee, which comprises of the traditional institution, which I represent. I'm not here as I'm just here as the chairman today, which I represent the Muslim community, where we have the chief imam, we have the Christian body, where we have the current president, we have the market women represented by Yellow, we have the Nigerian Bar Association represented by the bar chairman, and then we have the Nigerian Union of represented by its chairman. The primary objective of the Ondo State Mediation Working Committee is to work assiduously electoral violence. Number 4, media responsibility to encourage responsible reporting, fact-checking, and conflict-sensitive journalism. Now, youth empowerment is number 5. Engagement youth leaders, the engagement of youth leaders in peace building, promoting constructive expression of energy and idealism. As we navigate the electoral landscape, let us draw inspiration from our shared aspiration for a prosperous, united, and peaceful Ondo State. Let us work together to create an environment where everyone feels safe, valued, and empowered to participate in democratic process. Together, we can promote peaceful coexistence and national unity, foster inclusive and participatory, support economic growth and development, ensure the well-being and security of our citizens. As I welcome you this I urge all stakeholders to commit to peaceful elections and prioritize the interests of the state. Let us seize this opportunity to shape a brighter future for our children. Thank you.
Please, we can do better than that for I Chief Adegomire.
Sorry. I mean,
Thank you very much. We appreciate I choose the speech. The Deputy Governor of Ondo State walked in, His Excellency Olaide Wulabi Adila. Chief, we sincerely appreciate. Let's also recognize the presence of Oba Aluwa George Babatunde Faduyule Adegun II, the Abodi of Ikale land. Good afternoon, sir. We sincerely Kabiesio. We also want to recognize Akirin Sola Amro, the commander, the controller, also to recognize the presence of the Ondo State, Nazim. You're welcome, sir. So, we also want to Suji Ogumi is with the Obafe Bolo Ife. We have some chairmen seated. We have chairman. Also, we have Honorable Bayo Anifo, Chairman of the government, Mr. Abi Bukola Dowu, Honorable Jude, Chairman, Akoko Southeast, while the Chairman, Akoko South, seated the Honorable Ayo Ajano. President of the Commander, NYC, Ondo State, we want to recognize the representative of DSS, Ondo State Command, Mr. Daisi Adegba. We want to recognize the INEC Rec in Ondo State, Mr. Oluwatoyin and his team, and also want to recognize the presence of the Executive Director, KDI, Mr. and bring us to why we are here, to tell us why we are here. Why is it a summit? Why is it important? Why is it vital? Why is this summit organized today, 15th of October? He's here. It's us together for the Executive Director, Kimpact Development Initiative, Mr. Bukola Idowu.
Excellency, the Executive Governor of the State, the Deputy Governor, Speaker, Secretary to the State Government, Assistant Inspector General of Police, the State Commandant of the city, our service chiefs, all the political party candidates. I also recognize the presence of the former president who is currently watching us online, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the local government chairman. And please permit me, we have a very long list of protocol. So maybe I will be the one to start. All protocol duly observed. It is with great pleasure and a deep responsibility that I welcome you to the Ondo State Peace Security Summit on behalf of the staff and management of Kimpa Development Initiative, along with our esteemed partners: the Nigerian Police Force, Ondo State Command, the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, Ondo State Command, the Peace Committee. I am privileged to stand before you today, which together we convene this summit to address issues that is fundamental to the future of our democracy, ensuring peaceful, secured, and credible elections. In just 4 weeks to come, the people of Ondo State will have the opportunity to exercise their democratic right to vote. This is more than a civic duty for us. It is an affirmation of our collective commitment to a democratic process that truly reflects the will of the people. Just like that definition of democracy suggests, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. If you look at the common denominator from that statement, it's about the people. The people. And that is why we have this gathering here today to talk and reflect on how we are going to have a peaceful election in which the people, which is the nucleus of the democracy, will participate peacefully and decide to choose who represents them. These challenges, particularly electoral violence, intimidation, and disruption, which normally threaten the integrity of our elections, is not only peculiar to Nigeria, it's also a global issue. That is why we are gathered here today to discuss and put together how we can ensure that the coming election will be peaceful in Ondo State. If you recall, Ondo State have a bit of history of electoral violence. We remember 1983. We remember the last election too. There are few instances, the one that happened in Oba, a lot of, and which we can recollect and reflect on. But on our part, we are gathered here today, all the stakeholders, to change the narrative and truly name Ondo State as a peaceful state that it is. With our collective efforts, with our collective resolution today, we believe that the election coming up in just 4 weeks will be peaceful, transparent, and credible. At KDI, we believe that sustainable peace and credible election can only be achieved through collaborative efforts. This summit aims to foster cooperation and constructive dialogue between citizens, civil society, INEC, political party, community leaders, the election security apparatus, particularly the Nigerian police and the civil defense and other service sister agencies, as we head into the election. This platform will allow us to hear from ourselves our commitment and preparation towards these elections. Through our work at KDI, under the Nigeria Election Violence Education and Response, which is NEVA project, with the support of the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, we have witnessed firsthand how early warning signal, community engagement, and sustained advocacy can help prevent electoral violence. The peaceful outcome of the recent Edo State election is a testament to this. Just as we did in Edo, we at KDI have been diligently tracking, documenting, and mitigating incidents of electoral violence in Ondo State over the past 9 months. And I'm happy to say that we have not been able to get busy. We have not been able to track and document a lot of election violence in Ondo State. This is a good signal that we hope will continue till after the elections. KDI have been diligently tracking, like I said, and we acknowledge that the security remains a significant challenge. Issues such as kidnapping and communal clashes Despite these challenges, KDI has employed and deployed a range of strategies aimed at violence prevention. Number one is the establishment of the State Peace and Mediation Committee, composed of respectable individuals in Ondo State who have been engaging with the electoral actors, using data-driven to propagate the message of peace. We conducted a pre-election security risk assessment which scientifically identified hotspot area, key actors, and potential trigger of violence. These findings have been shared with stakeholders to inform their violence prevention strategy. In the coming days, we will convey, specifically November 10, we will convey a high-level town hall that will be broadcast live on the national TV, where INEC, security experts, political parties, and other stakeholders will discuss their preparedness for the elections. Why Nigeria will have opportunity, and most especially, the citizens of Ondo State will have opportunity to ask questions directly. Today, in closing, as we reflect on the success of this strategy in the recent Edo election, we must also critically examine the emerging risks and challenges that could threaten the security of the upcoming election here in Ondo State. We are here to engage in honest and constructive conversation on how we can constructively and collectively address this concern to protect the integrity of our electoral process. Just in the next 4 weeks, over 2 million registered voters are expected to hit various polling units to cast their vote. I want to express my profound gratitude to all of you who have made it to be part of this critical conversation. I must say that this conversation we are having today is being broadcast live on the national TV and all on the social media. I am happy that Ondo State is gathering, the whole world is watching and tracking the commitment we are going to make here today. I want to express my profound gratitude to all of you that have come to be part of this critical conversation. Your presence here demonstrates your unwavering commitment to peace and democracy. I also want to extend our special gratitude to FCDO for their continued support to make this event a success. We pray. Thank you all, and I look forward to a fruitful, productive summit. And God bless Ondo State. God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the Executive Director of Kimpact Development Initiative. We sincerely appreciate what Kimpact is doing. What I know about them is that they are results-based and data-driven. By the time we are leaving here, I can assure you we are going on with solutions, not with problems. So that's why these stakeholders are critical to what we are doing today. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me use this opportunity to welcome candidates that will participate. They're also one of the key stakeholders in the Saturday, November 16 governorship election right here in Ondo State. Let me recognize the presence of the governorship candidates of the People's Redemption Party, PRP, Babatunde Francis Ali. You're welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for him. We sincerely appreciate. Also, the governorship candidate of the Zenith Labour Party, ZLP, is here, Dr. Abbas Mimiko. You're welcome, sir. We sincerely appreciate you. As soon as others are here, we're also going to recognize them. Let me quickly also recognize the presence of the Sector Commander, FRSC, Dr. Samuel A.I. Ibitoye. Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at your agenda, we're moving to the welcome address. Now, let me use this opportunity to invite the CP Abayomi Peter Oladipo, the Commissioner of Police, Ondo State Command, for his own welcome address. A round of applause for him, please, as he comes to the podium. Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely appreciate the doggedness. And so far, so good. Ondo State has been safe. We appreciate, and we are sure that come November 16, Ondo State is going to be more safer under your reign. That's something I'm very sure of. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, the anchorman. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimison Ayedatiwa, the Deputy Governor, Chief Olaide Owolabi Adelami, permit me to use the Deputy Governor as a point of contact for all state government functionaries here present. The heads of security agencies here present, our royal fathers, the Impact Development Initiative Team, / the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, and other CSOs, religious leaders, the Resident Electoral Commissioner for Ondo State, panelists, Police Public Relations Committee, the chairman of participating political parties, local government chairman, organized labor, NURTW return, and in fact, the students' union associations, and the members of the press. It is my distinct honor to welcome you all to the Ondo State Peace and Security Summit, a crucial summit focused on ensuring a smooth and peaceful gubernatorial election slated for November 16, 2024. The summit arises from the pressing need for all stakeholders, especially our political parties, political gladiators, to gather together under the same roof to voice their concerns and challenges openly. It also provides a platform to discuss the preparedness of the various government institutions responsible for the electoral process as mandated by the Electoral Act 2020 as amended. Reflecting on our past, we must acknowledge the challenges we have faced, ranging from accusation of misconduct, overzealous support from party members, and lapses in stakeholders' responsibilities. To avoid a repeat of this issue, open dialogue is essential, and that is the primary objective of this gathering. Since the electoral crisis of 1983, Ondo State has made concerted effort to uphold the rules of engagement. However, challenges like political thuggery and voter apathy have persisted, and highlighting the need for ongoing vigilance and cooperation. As the lead security agencies, the police, in conjunction and collaboration with other sister agencies, have developed plans for a robust security arrangement to ensure law and order is being preserved throughout the election period, which is inclusive of the post-election period. I therefore urge all political parties to remember that we are united by our common purpose. Competing for leadership should not fracture our bonds. Our unity is far more significant than the outcome of elections. I encourage candidates to focus on issue-based campaigns rather than personal attacks. The authority to select the next governor of the state relies solely with the electorates. And I implore all contestants to embrace the spirit of sportsmanship, acknowledging that in a contest, not everyone can emerge victorious. To party leaders, I advise you to remind your members and supporters to exercise restraint during campaigns. Destruction of posters, billboards, and disruption of opponents' events are serious offenses and will be dealt with firmly. I also urge our teeming youth and supporters to resist becoming instruments of violence under the guise of political thuggery. Remember, those who engage in criminal activities will face the wrath of the law. For those who may feel wronged during the election period, I strongly encourage you to seek redress through the appropriate legal channels, such as election tribunals, rather than resorting to self-help. This summit aims not to only address grievances, but to build cooperative relationship among all stakeholders involved in the electoral process. The police and other safety and security agencies are committed to maintain high standard of professionalism, ensuring a fair and impartial election. Our personnel have received specialized training for election duties, and as I speak, the training is still ongoing. And we have engaged with other relevant organizations, including National Orientation Agency, INEC, and NYSC, to ensure that we fulfill our responsibilities effectively. While we do not anticipate to post violence during
their support and making this summit a reality. Let us all embrace this opportunity to sow the seed of peace and security in Ondo State. Your Excellencies, service commanders, aspirants, representative of political parties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, sir. We sincerely appreciate. Let's use this opportunity to recognize the presence of the TUC chairman in Ondo State, Comrade Clement Fatuashe. Also, let's recognize the IPAC treasurer who doubles as APM chairman, Elder Oloro Funsho Felix. Let's also recognize the youth leader, Social Democratic Party in Ondo State, Ranti Akinagbe. We sincerely appreciate you. Let's recognize the candidates of the AAC, Kunle Ajayi Wiseman. Thank you very much for coming. We sincerely appreciate. Gentlemen and ladies, if we take a look at your agenda, we are moving on so fast. Let's bring to the podium for his goodwill message, AIG Abiodun Ashabi, the Nigeria Police Force Zone 17 DIG. You're welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
I wish to stand on the already established protocols, and the AIG is presently not available because he's on special duty out of the station. He's in Abuja, and he has directed me to come and give to come and make sure to wish the KPI and the command a peaceful deliberation of during this process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We like the resolve of the DIG Abiodun, AIG Abiodun Ashabi. We sincerely appreciate the resolve. Thank you very much, sir. For the goodwill message as well, let's invite the DG or the representative, the DG of Akure and chairman on those State Council of Obas, His Royal Majesty Oba Alade Toyimbo Ogolade Alade Lucy CFR Odundo II. And I think walking to the podium is Senior High Chief Shola Adegbon Mire. He's the chairman of Ondo State Peace and Meditation Working Committee, who is going to tell us the mind of the DG.
This is Akure, the Ondo State capital, and it's very important for KBC to be here. But one way or the other, you're busy. So I just I'm born. But I'm so well, KBC has just called me now and said I should please tender his apology for not coming. He said he thought he would be able to be here, but when I told him that he's next now, and he said, so he wants me to tell you that he welcomes you, and he's saying that you should please. He doesn't want any violence. He said I should greet all the service chiefs, that he enjoys your support. even though he's using Gwetu. But sometimes Gwetu, yeah, won't fail you. So, if you're fail you. But we want to thank all the service chiefs here who have been protecting us in Akure especially. And being the chairman of Ondo State Council of Obas, is appreciative of the fact that you have been keeping Ondo State safe since. And he wishes all us a good peace summit. And he says that he prays that we will have the election free, fair, and violent free. On this note, kí ẹ̀yin mi tó yọ sórí pé mò ń sọ Ìgbò.
Mahmoud Yakubu is a lover of peace and he would have loved to be here. We are currently involved in a lot of activities and he has directed that I represent him at this summit. I'm honored and privileged to be here today at this crucial election, peace, and security summit. I'm wearing two caps, that of the REC and the chairman of INEC. This gathering underscores our collective commitment to ensuring that the upcoming 2024 Ondo State Governorship election remains an ideal of democracy, peace, and security. As we approach the forthcoming elections, we must reflect on the significance of maintaining peace and security throughout the electoral cycle. That's before, during, and after the election. As we all know, election forms the bedrock of our democratic system that provides and guarantees fundamental rights of the electorate to choose their leaders. Ensuring a peaceful electoral process is not just a duty, but a collective responsibility that demands unwavering commitment from all stakeholders. The collaboration between the Nigerian police, KDI, and other organizers of this summit highlights the crucial role of partnership in promoting a secure and peaceful electoral environment. Allow me to emphasize that free, fair, credible, and inclusive election can only flourish in an atmosphere of peace. This underscores the critical importance of this summit at this time. It is no exaggeration to say that it's both timely and relevant, especially as we are preparing for the forthcoming Ondo State governorship election. Since independence, the stability of Nigeria's electoral process has been threatened by electoral violence, lawlessness, impunity, assassinations, and wanton destruction of lives and property. The return to civil rule since 1999 has particularly witnessed an escalation in the level of violence. To reduce this incidence of violence and its threats, as well as increase public confidence in the electoral process, INEC has built partnerships with relevant stakeholders to address the problem of insecurity in a planned and systemic way through its collaboration with security agencies via the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, ICES. The Commission also has its internal tools for mitigating electoral violence and risk, which we call Election Risk Management, ERM, Election Violence Mitigation Advocacy Tool, EVMAT. As we all know, elections can provoke negative sentiments and emotions, which, if unchecked, may escalate into open hostility and potential violence. This can instill fear in voters and ultimately discourage them from exercising their right to vote. It has been observed that off-cycle election in Nigeria has been inherently more challenging than general election. Because it's an off-cycle election, political actors have more opportunity to focus on human and material resources on the electoral process. So to ensure a peaceful 2024 Ondo State governorship election, I urge all political parties in the state, candidates, and their supporters to focus on issue-based campaigns and avoid rhetorics that will incite religious, ethnic, or tribal divisions. Political actors must also refrain from making public statements, declarations, or speeches that will incite violence at any stage, before, during, or after the election. Parties are expected to make their manifestos available to voters, allowing them to critically interrogate and evaluate the content so that they can make informed. Our actions must be guided by inclusivity and transparency. Every eligible voter in the state deserves the opportunity to participate freely and without fear. Therefore, as stakeholders, we need to implement robust voter education initiatives through dissemination of clear and accurate information to enable the electorate to make informed choices and maintain peace throughout the process. At INEC, we have made concerted efforts to engage with all segments of election stakeholders, such as security agencies, political parties, civil society groups, the youth, women, faith-based organizations, community-based organizations, and other organizations. We hold regular consultative meetings to keep them continuously involved of our activities as we approach the election. The purpose of this engagement is to ensure that all stakeholders approach the election with an informed perspective, thereby reducing or eliminating the risk of misinformation and disinformation that could threaten the peace of the electoral process. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Kimball Development Initiative, the Nigerian Police, and all other organizers of this summit that is supported by the UK International Development. Let us continue to collaborate closely to ensure the success of the upcoming election. I wish to reaffirm the commitment of INEC to conduct free, fair, credible, transparent, and inclusive election in a secure and peaceful environment. Together, we have the opportunity to create an environment where every vote and every voice is heard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. The last part of that speech is critical. Thank you. Let me reintroduce the State Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. He is representing the party's chairman and also the candidate of the party. His name is Mr. Olushele Olujimi. Barrister Olushele Olujimi. Thank you very much, sir. We apologize for the mix-up earlier. Let's also quickly recognize the presence of the ADC chairman, Honorable Laide Rashid. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you for coming. Also, let's recognize the both party chairman, also IPAC secretary, Comrade Alex Adiniyi. We appreciate you for coming. The representative of the Nigerian Army is here, Major O.J. Okunaye. We appreciate you for coming, sir. NAS chairman and his members. And we have Comrade Oluwatobi Loba Joshua Olurotimi right here from NAS. Also NAOS, we have Honorable Ogedengbe Bamidele. NMPP is also here. NMPP State Vice Chairman and Financial Secretary, they are here. The name of the Vice Chairman is Honorable Akpata Adiola. Thank you very much for coming. And also the Financial Secretary, Comrade Wasiu. Thank you very much. We have Form 1 also here, Muslim women. Please, ladies and gentlemen, on your feet, let's welcome and recognize the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Orimison Lucky Ayedatiwa. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much, sir. You came here right on time, sir. We, at the party, we are taking good messages. And We're taking goodwill messages, and you came in right on time. So let's invite for his goodwill message the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky. All right. But before we do that, let's recognize the presence. Let's recognize the presence of the Young Progressive Party. The Deputy Governorship candidate is here with us. Right Honorable Ayodele John Obe. Also, the governorship candidate is also here with us. John Otitoloju Akimorele St. John. Thank you very much for coming. Also, let's recognize the presence of the governorship candidate of the Action Democratic Party, Honorable Akinodi Ayodeji. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We sincerely appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to appreciate everyone. We understand that so far so good. We've seen the importance of this summit, and it is geared towards having a safe election come November 16, 2024. So far so good. The resolutions that we've listened to right here makes us happy and gives us the assurance that come November 16, Ondo State residents can come out en masse and vote for their preferred candidates. The results of INEC, the resolution coming from the security agencies gives us joy, and we are ready, of course, ready to participate in the upcoming election. Let's move on now. To bring on the high table or the podium for the seminar presentation. The title is Building Trust and Preventing Violence. In Ondo State's 2024 governorship election, key strategies and stakeholders' roles. Once again, the title of that paper to be presented by Professor Adetunji Ogunyemi, economist, historian, lawyer, and affairs analyst, is Building Trust and Preventing Violence in Ondo State's 2024 governorship election, key strategies and stakeholders' roles. Let's bring to the podium Professor Adetunji Ogunyemi, please. He's from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Let's jam our hands together once again, ladies and gentlemen, for him. We sincerely appreciate.
The Executive Governor of Ondo State, KBSCs, and security agencies, fellow Nigerians. It is important first to establish this, and that is that everywhere, anywhere, at all times, that contestation for power and values are involved. There will always be conflictual interests, struggle for power, and the possibility of a riotous or tumultuous conflict amongst people. It is settled. The reason is that democracy does not promise a conflict-free society. In fact, democracy promises the exact reverse of what its definition pretends to show. Democracy is essentially conflictual, totally riotous, and can take away peace from any society. In fact, according to the professor of political economy, Tony Falola, democracy necessarily whips up, encourages and excavates our social divides. It excavates our divisions in terms of religion, ethnicity, political affiliation, even gender. Democracy does not promise any society that will be conflict-free. A very good example is the presidential election that shall be held next month in the United States. I mean, it's one of the most democratic countries in the world. Yet, it is so tumultuously riotous. It encourages all manners of insults, including the presidential candidate in that country regarding and referring to his contestant as criminals. That's the nature of democracy. It encourages contestants to abuse, to disrespect, and to be disloyal. So, what behoves us is how we manage those conflicts. And that is why we are here. In fact, when it comes to the dividends of democracy, there is no promise by democracy for good economy. The dividends of democracy are not good roads. They are not good infrastructure. The dividends of democracy has nothing to do with good bridges, doing good schools. No. Because dictatorships do better. Better roads. Dictatorships can do good economy. And examples have been found in Africa without number. A good example, Morocco, governed by a dictator. His name, Mohammed VI. No economy in the whole of North Africa, particularly in the Mediterranean seaboard, is better than that of Morocco. And the Moroccan economy in terms of the per capita income and capacity to be able to withstand and get out of poverty is 15 times better than that of Nigeria. Yet, Morocco is not democratic, and Nigeria is democratic. So what is in this democracy that we have decided to choose? And we chose it 25 years ago. What is in it? The dividends that we have decided to choose, and we prefer it to dictatorship, are just four. One, that it liberates the individual in terms of political choice. It makes him to be able to choose freely. Because freedom is the first rule in humanity. A man will prefer to be free, yet hungry, to being well-fed in enslavement. It is the first rule of human liberation. That's our reason. The second is that it allows for political participation. It allows for popular sovereignty, that is, the people shall be superior to their leaders. And periodic elections and respect for the fundamental rights of man. Period. These are the dividends of democracy. Not good roads. No. Because a dictator can do a good road too. So the evidence that the economy is good is not evidential of a good democracy. No. What democracy has as its infinite advantage that made Nigerians choose it, either immediately after colonialism or now, since 1999, is its capacity for popular sovereignty, popular will, majority rule, respect for fundamental rights, and periodic elections. Full stop. So when we now domicile it within the political system called Ondo State, one of the 36 states of the Federation, what are we contending with? These are the data. One, Ondo State has 18 local governments. And by September this year, the Resident Electoral Commission informed the world that there are 2,053,061 registered voters in this state. Now, these voters will go to and exercise tumultuously their choices. They will campaign for, and the leaders and the representatives of candidates will also campaign for themselves, using all manners of divisive tactics, all manners. We are in the north. You are in the south. It was the north that did it before. Now it has to be in the south. Oh, the north central. We will reach agreement with this north so that we will exclude the south. That's the language of democracy. And Nigerian politicians have exploited that infinitely since independence. In fact, in the year 1959, Awo did not govern the western region more than 7 years. In the year 1959, the major sing-song of the Northern Progressive Union, as well as the NPC, the Northern People's Party, whatever, was that any northerner who voted for a Christian was a kafiri. That was the sing-song. Any northerner who voted for a Christian, a kafiri. That is an unclean. In the South, today, the main catchphrase when people go to campaign is that the oil, our oil, belongs to us. The Nigerian state is using the oil to develop Abuja at our expense. That's the language. That's the language. In the North Central, particularly in Plateau State, the sing-song is about the we and the them amongst the pastoralists who had cattle along Barikin Ladi, Penshin, and Per up to the inner recesses of Wase in the same state. Therefore, exclude the pastoralists. They are not Birom. They are not in gas. They are not this. They are not that. Schism, division. That's democracy. That's democracy. How do we tame democracy such that it does not infinitely divide us, destroy us, and take the beast out of us and distribute it liberally? It is, one, to respect fundamental rights. Two, to give room for civil society organizations to operate such that they could link the citizenry with good of government. And third, to do periodic elections such that we will do elections will be predictable. Not only just predictable, but that the civil society, together with the security agencies and law enforcers, shall cooperate amongst themselves to bring about a transparent election. Who are the stakeholders in any election, particularly in Ondo State? Who are the stakeholders? And we mean the key stakeholders. It is going to be very strange in an environment, especially in the Nigerian environment, where though we advertise ourselves as republic, meaning that it is only by the instrumentality of public choices by ordinary citizens that we shall have leaders, and that our leaders shall not be got for us either by the reason of their family inheritance or by any reason concerning ancestry. We are a republic. But we are a republic of many royalties. See the contradiction? To have a republican system means there should be no royalty. Nobody should be Amirul Mu'minin. Nobody should be Oni of Ife, etc., etc. But we have it. Doing any election in an environment that contradictory recognizes republicanism and monarchy is one of the most catastrophic things to do. To engage in this country for the reasons that they necessarily conflict. Yes, they conflict. So what do? It will be very strange to expect to have a peaceful election in Ile-Ife, where I live, without the Oni,
being significantly informed. Or the chiefs being significantly mobilized to ensure that during and after the election, crises do not ensue. Why? Because people tend to respect and defer to their traditional institutions in Nigeria than they do government. People respect their traditional institutions than they do government. So, they are critical stakeholders, security agents, INEC, political parties, contestants who are being fielded by their political parties. Not a contestant that is contesting on social media. Is not one of the stakeholders who is voting on Twitter and is the one stoking dissension, stoking crisis within the state. In fact, in the last presidential election, one contestant in that election did not adduce a single evidence from the more than 176,000 polling units in Nigeria. And he was insisting that he won in those units. And not one single evidence to show. These Twitter winners in elections are advised to stay clear because they are not part of the contestant of critical stakeholders. Finally, the electorate, who shall vote, they are amongst, in fact, they are the greatest stakeholders in this system. So, the issues concerning free and trustworthy elections are 5 in Nigeria. 1, procedural regularity. Is the procedure regular? This concerns INEC. If the procedures are not irregular, no one can be hard to say that the election has been transparent. If there is any single irregularity in the procedure, it vitiates that election on grounds of that irregularity. Timeless apprehension of irregularities, therefore, becomes one of the ways by which INEC can prevent violence. To timelessly apprehend irregularity. To distribute election materials on time. And to ensure that they're both sensitive and insensitive. I wonder which election material is insensitive anyway. To distribute and ensure that sensitive and non-sensitive materials are distributed fairly. To prevent intimidation, suppression of vote, and vote merchandising. This falls squarely within the purview of the lead agency, the Nigeria Police Force, assisted by the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, to ensure that vote merchandising, buying and selling, even when politicians don't want to buy, you will see vote seller say, come and buy my vote at 5,000. You can't rescue such a person from perdition, except if the security forces apprehend him and ensure that he's significantly prosecuted. Because he's a criminal. Because it's not only politicians that are guilty of vote buying. There are vote merchandisers, vote sellers, and they should be apprehended. Managing candidate stronghold is one of the ways by which to avoid the problem of violence. Strongholds are places where a political contestant, can not just gain more votes, but instigate political apparatchiks to gain votes in excess of what the people actually voted. In other words, you rig where you are strong. Whether it is where you are strong or not where you are very strong, it is illegality to stuff ballot boxes. A way of avoiding violence is to ensure that the security forces locate, manage very well the strongholds of the contestants, such that votes that are illegal do not find their way into the ballot boxes. Finally, we need to take into consideration, as a way of avoiding violence, the safety of INEC officials. Their safety is critical. They are not ready to commit suicide. I doubt if they are ready to commit suicide. So, if INEC officials will not be safe or feel that they are safe, the possibility of
being deployed to areas that are very tumultuous and riotous and accepting to work there, that possibility is very slim. Hence, it permits for unscrupulous politicians to rig endlessly and to stuff votes in their favor. So, how do we, therefore, ensure that there is a trust in the system? And we identify three sets of people, three sets of stakeholders. The first is the security agents. Avoid colluding or abetting criminality. If a person votes who is not supposed to vote or does double voting, is a criminal. It's a criminal. No matter how rich, no matter how powerful. He should be apprehended. Avoid evidence tampering. To tamper with evidence, it has been shown that evidence tampering or mishandling by security agencies can vitiate an election, even though that election has been well done. Because when you go to the courts are only persuaded by evidence and facts. They are not persuaded by sweet words. So when those evidence are destroyed as a result of intervention or deliberate frustration by security agencies, elections cannot be said to be free and fair. Not divulging intelligence. As we have now, the election is about 30 days, the police are gathering intelligence. But granting or giving that intelligence to non-authorized persons is a frustration, in fact, a deliberate diminution in the powers of the police and the authority given them. So, they should ensure that intelligence is not divulged to unauthorized persons. Finally, avoid double agency. Supporting a particular political party or candidate against the federation, against the Electoral Act, is double agency. The media are actually the nucleus. When it comes to avoiding electoral violence, the media are the nucleus of it. Why? Because when they sensationally report, particularly when they report the opinion of the media owner, I know the medium is the message. But when you report the opinion of the broadcaster or the media owner, as if it is the truth, as if it is the fact, it's criminality. The National Broadcasting Commission ought to sanction such a media, such a medium of expression, very harshly to prevent other people from following suit. Non-professional coverage, preparing or refraining from announcing or broadcasting election results before they are announced by INEC. You should desist from reporting media owners and their opinions as if it is the truth, and then using hearsay evidence as news item. There are so many news media in Lagos. They use mere hearsay evidence, and they broadcast it as what is happening within the electoral system. It is subversive and should be avoided. Contestants themselves, no contestant should use thugs as agents. I know you cannot avoid using thugs. I know politicians cannot avoid using thugs. A thug is he, no matter what. A thug is he who will not obey the law in the electoral process. It does not matter his name, his title, his age. It's a thug. Refraining from vote merchandising, congratulating the winner, or accepting defeat, even when election results are yet to be announced, is one of the ways of ensuring that there is no violence. When your supporters know that you have even considered, when you look at the tapestry of election results coming from the field, the situation room reports to you and say, you have lost in 12 local governments. How can you therefore be insisting that until you see the final result in the 18th? You've lost. Pick your phone, call. I congratulate you, ABCD, for having done this election. And I look forward to you factoring into the calculus my view in the governing of this state. That's one of the ways of avoiding crisis. Your followers immediately follow suit, and they will respect the system. Finally, be magnanimous in victory. Let the winner call on the defeated to join him in building the state and ensuring development for the people. I thank you so much. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, our Prof. I'm not so sure 2 hours will be okay for you. Thank you very much. We appreciate those detailed information, and these are things that we are going to take notes and utilize, particularly on the part of media. We sincerely appreciate. Let's introduce to you one of the major organizers of this program. They are the Ondo State Peace Mediation Working Committee. They are here to ensure there is peace. They are people who are creme de la creme of our society, who can put a call through to any of these contestants and tell them to tone down the ongoing conversations if it is leading to violence. We've introduced to you the chairman of the committee before, but let's quickly move forward to introduce to you members of the working committee. The CAN chairman, Very Reverend Father let's go straight to other members of the working committee. Alhaji Sheikh Abdul Karim Yayi Akorede. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Also, is the chief imam of Akure Kingdom. Let's also recognize the presence, one of the members of the working committee, the immediate chairman, MBA Akure, Barrister Banjo Ayenaki. We appreciate you. The chairman, NUJ, is also there in the working committee, Prince Leke Adegbite, the Yaloja General, Chief Princess Adenike Aroloye is also part of the working committee. The CAN chairman, Reverend Father Asem Ologunwa, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Praise the Lord. Thank you very much, sir. Alhaji Medinat Umikunle, former president, is also part of the working committee. Mrs. Bamboye Folashade is the committee secretary. Also, Jonathan Obatola is a lead monitor, KDI, and is part of the working committee. With no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please, with a round of applause, let's bring to the podium the executive governor of Ondo State, Honorable Ori Mison Ayeda, is going to come for his message. Sir, sometimes I'm happy to introduce my name. My name is Promise Inumison. Somehow close to your name. And happy sometimes to introduce myself. We appreciate you as we welcome the
Let us be seated. Thank you. Let me quickly recognize all of us have been invited here for this meeting. Everyone is very, very important. I will have just said I'm adopting the protocol that has been established, which I have to do, because I don't know the name of every one of you, but not to miss out anyone. So I adopt the long list of protocol. But I'll just recognize few people that I can see from here. You can see that I'm also wearing glasses. So let me acknowledge the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Laide Adelami Menai. You are recognized. All other members of the State Executive Council that are here. Let me use the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice as a point of contact to all other Executive Council members that are here. Let me also acknowledge the chairman of INEC, even though he's not here in person, but I'll use the state rec as a point of contact. Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, Resident Electoral Commissioner for Ondo State. Let me also acknowledge the Coordinator of State NYC Ondo State, Mrs. Kuburat Bakari. I recognize you. The guest speaker, Professor Adetunji Ogunyemi, thank you for the presentation. Let me also acknowledge all the head of security and civil defense corps, the immigration, the customs, the road safety corps, the fire service, the correctional centers, all of you, the DSS and NIA, DIA, I recognize every one of you. Let me also acknowledge all our traditional rulers that are here, the Asai of Akure land, and the Lisa of Iloluji Okegbo. When the name of the member, the times that we are in, it could snowball into violence and peace will be threatened. But by this meeting, we're trying to educate our people importance of peace so that we can avoid it. And from what the guest speaker also listed during his presentation, issues or factors that can actually threaten our peace, that will create violence during election. And he mentioned a couple of them from the institution itself, that will be the umpire, that they have to be unbiased, the security agencies, they have to be professional in their dealings. The individual candidates also should be able to embrace peace and be transparent and shun election that is 100% free and fair. But I want to tell you, in Ondo State, apart from 1983, where we have major crises during election, all the other elections we'll be having in Ondo State have been adjudged to be peaceful, free, and fair. And this very election will not be an exception. As government or as party in power, we will ensure that we comport ourselves during our campaigns, allowing level playing ground for all the political parties to have their space to talk about what they want to do for the good people of Ondo State. It is not hate talk. It is not blackmailing. We are not blackmailing anybody. We're only going out there to tell the people who we are and what we have been doing for the people. And the people have demonstrated love by coming out en masse to give us that support. And all of this can be verified. I just want to plead with all of us, in line with the guest speaker, those issues and factors that, and let me also mention this here, that even the Amotekun Corps, which is our own homegrown security outfit, have never been used during election in Ondo State. We have never. They stay behind like every other normal citizen in civilian uniform. And you will never trace any pocket of misconduct in some of the units, because I'm not going to tell you that that will not happen, because on that day, I will even do as a governor, I'm not allowed to go with security personnel carrying gun to my polling unit. I will go there like ordinary citizen to cast my vote and I will be at my polling unit on that day. So I will not be able to tell what might be happening in some other units, in other local governments. So the police are there to do all of that. So I want to encourage all candidates of all the political parties to maintain peace, to be transparent. Let their voice be heard. Let them speak to the people. They will listen. We will encourage issue-based campaign, devoid of hate speech. We will not divide our people through propaganda. And you know all of these, those of you that are here. A few days ago, those who believe in hate speech and propaganda and blackmail, you read or you saw a video that was circulated to blackmail my person as the governor of Ondo State. Those are the kind of things they do. But you all know that that is not me. Ondo State people replied them. I just look at them and I laugh. They look at them and say, this is not our governor. We know who our governor is. And for those of you who are here, who might not have seen me physically before, this is me. Do I look like that person? I don't have a gap teeth up and down. I have a black mole on my face. My beard is different from his. So those are the kind of things they try to push out to discredit, to create problems. But on our part, we embrace peace. We are peaceful people. Ondo State have been adjudged to be one of the safest and most peaceful states in Nigeria. We will keep that status even during election. Now, the education is very important, and that is exactly what we are doing. I know in the days ahead, we are still going to sign peace accord. Fortunately, I don't know how many political parties that are represented here that need to hear this and take it back to their supporters and members of their political party. For us, I'm here. The chairman of my party is also here. We work together, and a lot of my critical stakeholders in my party leaders who will be at their various local governments on that day to talk to our people, to obey the rules and regulations, to go by the rules so that there can be peace during and after the election. Professor, thank you so much for those factors that were enumerated. We will try, we have been abiding by that. That is why our campaigns have been issue-based. We only tell the people what we have been doing. We are not promising them, what we cannot do. The only thing we are telling them is that the one we are doing, we will continue to improve on them by restructuring our budget for next year, because the budget we are running this year, not that I'm trying to campaign. If I'm doing that, I'm allowed to do it because I have the floor. What we are telling our people is we will restructure our budget to perform better next year. And they know what we are doing currently. The various interventions we have brought to governance since I came on board 10 months ago. A lot of changes have come into governance, and the people are happy. I don't need to run that campaign here. You can read them. Our KBCs, the Chief Imam, they all know what we are doing across board. We are religiously tolerant in the Ondo State. We embrace ourselves. There is no religious crisis in the Ondo State. Our people are peaceful people. We are loving people. And like I said, the incident of 1983 has taught us a lesson during elections, so we don't want a repeat of that. That is why we put every measure in place to ensure that our elections are violence-free and peaceful. So once again, I want to thank you, the organizers of this event, for this wonderful work you've put together. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. A round of applause again for the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa. Your dedication and resolve give us joy, and we are happy that November 16, 2024 is going to be peaceful, violent-free, rancor-free at the end of the day. The results are what Ondo State people will keep to mind. Thank you once again, the Executive Governor. With no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you check the agenda, we are going to the keynote address. And this will be delivered by the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. And this speech will be read by the Chairman of Ondo State Peace and Mediation Working Committee, Senior High Chief Shola Adegbomire. Once again, sir, and using that opportunity, let's quickly recognize the Chairman Coalition and civil society organizations in Ondo State and the convener Situation Room, Mr. Franklin Olondiju. We use him as a point of call to greet other CSOs present in this occasion.
Thank you very much. People are looking at me. They thought I would fall down there. The president will not fall. The other time I was standing here as chairman. The other time I was standing in for DG of Akure. Now is the turn of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. Goodwill message by His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2010-2015, at the Ondo State Peace and Security Summit, jointly organized by the Nigerian Police Force and NCSDC on October 15, 2024. I want to greet all the party chairmen who are here. I was going to say that I bring greetings from Mama Peace, but that's allowed too. Party candidates, the governor of Ondo State, I want to greet you too, the deputy governor, all the service chiefs that are here. This is Shola Adegbomire, but this is now the speech of the president, the president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Distinguished guests, esteemed leaders, and fellow Nigerians, I am honored to send this goodwill message to Ondo State Peace and Security Summit, being jointly organized by the Nigerian Police and NCDC and KDI, ahead of the state's scheduled governorship election. As we gather to promote peace and security in Ondo State, I urge all stakeholders to prioritize the well-being and safety of our citizens. The importance of peaceful elections cannot be overstated, and I commend your effort to ensure a secure environment for all. Like I always say, the credibility and peace of every election depends principally on the transparency and impartiality of the election management body and the security authorities, both of whom are the legally authorized managers of elections. That is why I am glad that this summit focusing on the security and peace of the coming election in Ondo State is being organized by the police and civil defense. For me, this is an indication that those managing elections getting ready to do it. Let us all commit to doing the right thing as a way of making our elections more credible and deepening the roots of our democracy. We can no longer afford to continue to hold elections that not only fail integrity tests, but also rank below the standard that has been attained by many countries, even in the West African sub-region. I call on all the political parties, candidates, and supporters to commit to the principles of inclusive participation, non-violence, and transparency, which are the gold standard, free and fair elections. Let us all work together to strengthen our democracy and ensure a brighter future for Ondo State and for our country. I therefore wish you all a fruitful deliberations at this Peace and Security Summit. I thank you all. This is now Shola Adebomire. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. I Chief Shola Adebomire, for bringing to us the mind of His Excellency, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize the presence of the Chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ondo State Council, Prince Leke Adegbite, represented by the State Secretary, Olaoluwa Meshak. Also, we recognize the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, Ondo State Branch, and the Vice Chairperson is here with us, Alhaji Kudirat Badamosi, and also the Treasurer is also she's also with us, Mrs. Yetunde Ademigoke. We appreciate you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten to the most interesting part of the summit. If you check your agenda, it is a panel discussion. And this particular part is going to be moderated by my colleague, Damilola Taiwo. She is the head of programs, Crest FM, 106.1 FM, Ondo State. Please pay attention.
Thank you very much, Promise. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocols already established. We have gotten to a very important part of this summit, and we'll be having a panel session. It's just for 20 minutes. We'll be having a conversation with people who we consider stakeholders, all of those people that our guest speaker, Professor Oguyemi, have mentioned, all those people that the governor of Ondo State, the executive governor, His Excellency, Governor Lucky Orimisoaidatiwa, all of those people who he has sent his message to, and everyone represented here are stakeholders here. I'll be inviting to join me on the podium. If you check your agenda, we have 5 panelists, but we'll be taking only 4 because one of the panelists is unavoidably absent. So joining me on the podium here, please join me as I welcome Alhaji Sheikh Dr. Abdullah Kim Yayi Akorede, the Chief Imam of Akure. A round of applause for him as he makes his way to the stage. And just after him, the very Reverend Father Ansem Ologunwa, the Chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Ondo State. And coming up next, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, the Resident Electoral Commissioner, Independent National Electoral Commission. And to join us on this panel again, the Chairperson, Ondo State Coalition of Civil Society Organizations, Franklin Oloniju. I've just been informed that to join this panel, okay, it makes it very interesting. Ahead of one of the key security agencies involved in electoral process, the Commissioner of Police, Ondo State Command, CP Abayomi Peter Oladipo. A round of applause for him as he makes his way to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, elections should be a celebration of democracy, like they say, but we have threats of violence. And so our theme for this panel will just be here for about 20 minutes. Mitigating electoral violence through stakeholders' commitment. It's a call to all of us that the responsibility of ensuring peaceful election before, during, and after election is for all of us, and that is why we are having this conversation. Each panelist has only 4 minutes, so it means that we'll be giving you whatever you get from us or whatever you get from them would be their best thought. My name is Oluwadamilola Taiwo, Head of Programs, Crest 106.1 FM, Akure. My first question, I'll be starting right here. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Very Reverend Father Ansem Ologunwa. Now, we are in a place where when people talk about religion, when people talk about politics, there are a whole lot of people who think religion and politics do not mix. So, Father, this is for you. What is the moral obligation of religious leaders when political candidates use inflammatory rhetoric that could incite violence?
First of all, I want to thank all our participants and then the aspirants of the governorship election that is coming up in our state, and thank the KDI for this opportunity. We just have to understand the fact that peace is the key word in our lives. And our Lord Jesus Christ emphasized this peace. And even for the peace to reign, and the importance of peace to reign is the fact that we are together. We need to work together. And that is the key point, the key areas in which we all have to just work together for. And we are calling on in the churches, in everywhere, to make sure that this peace reigns. These are the key roles that we need to emphasize. And I thank the KDI too that have been doing that. And I thank our governor who said, just during his own speech, we need this peace. The key role of every one of us, the religious leaders, the political leaders, is to make sure that there is peace. And I pray for this peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He stayed within time. If we have enough time, we still have a follow-up question for you. Moving to Alhaji Sheikh Dr. Abdulhakeem Yahya Akorede, the Chief Imam of Akure. Sir, how do you strike a balance between remaining neutral, because we know as the head of religious institution, that sometimes when it comes to politics, you're supposed to stay neutral. How do you maintain a balance between being neutral and condemning harmful actions that can lead to political violence?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I want to take the opportunity given to us. Mr. Governor, you are welcome to this gathering, and everybody present here this afternoon.
And prevent these hotspots from escalating again.
Okay, thank you very much. On our own part, as the lead agency in internal security and election security management, in conjunction with other security agencies in the state, we have done security assessment and threat assessment of the various areas. And also, we have started gathering intelligence who are capable of creating crises. And beyond that, the security agencies in the state have come together to do joint deployment, joint patrols to ensure that those areas that have potentials for violence are promptly taken care of. And we have come to the realization of the fact that most of these violence cannot be done with clear eyes. Some are motivated by use of drug. We are working with NDLEA to ensure that those areas where such substances are being dispensed are being monitored with a view to get the brains behind the distribution. I can tell you that this is an off-cycle election, and that police have the luxury of enough security, both personnel and logistics, to deploy to ensure that the people of the state move freely to conduct the voting. And of course, the INEC, that election is their baby, that will protect the election umpires and their materials. We are more than ready for the 16th November elections. I want to put on record that the political gladiators and the elites within the state should talk to their foot soldiers and let them know that violence will not do us any good. And unfortunately, most of these individuals that embark on thuggery, they are not even without, they have no political value. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. A round of applause for him, please. That's a very strong note of warning, and in the same, while speaking, he gives some sense of assurance. Moving to the civil society organizations, Mr. Franklin Oloniju. One challenge in mitigating electoral violence is the issue of trust between the public, the political actor, and institutions.
The Deputy Governor, my colleagues, and all distinguished invitees, would like to call on all the representatives of political parties and the aspirant as well to make a verbal commitment to this cause. So please, where are the representatives? Okay, I've just been told that they want to be invited one after the other. So can we have the representative of Zenith Labour Party?
Let's have the representative of the APC join us for the verbal declaration to commitment. Okay, the representative of the ZLP is here with us. Dr. Luba Anshile Abbas Mimiko is with us for the commitment.
I greet the Governor of Ondo State, Your Excellency Loki Orimisa Ayedatiwa. I use you as a point of contact to all government functionaries in the House. And I greet our royal fathers, I greet chiefs, I greet my fathers in the Lord, my Imam, I greet my indomitable wreck, who's been above board in Ondo State. When we talk about fairness and justice, I think it is a summit of candidates, political parties. Our amiable governor spoke for 20 minutes. We were given 0 minutes to talk. Sirs, that is at the crux of the matter. If you are looking for peace, you must give justice. If you don't have justice, justice is the minimal requirement for peace and fairness. Our fathers in the Lord, our imams. I expected our governor, whom we elected, to come sit with us. With the security apparatus can come with him, because we are all contesting. You made it look like an APC event. And we are committed to peace. We are committed to peace. And I know the service chiefs are committed to peace. I know our imams, our Lord bishops, and our camp presidents, they are all committed to peace. I know our resident electoral commissioner is totally committed to fairness in this game. My question will be, before I commit to any peace, the last election I had this personal experience, and this is to my CP, who's been of sterling qualities in Ondo State. We saw a man, a police officer, in an election in a polling unit, and they were distributing money, see and buy, which is against the Electoral Act that all of us know. And we went to him. Oga Olopa, then stop you, make you distribute your own. That is a personal experience. I'm not saying every police officer is like that, and I definitely know our CP doesn't condone. So how do we put the measures in place for instances like that? Once there is peaceful, free, and fair election, whoever wins, I will be the first to congratulate that person. And if I win, I will congratulate me as well. So I'm 100% committed to peace. Zenith Labour Party is committed to peace, and thank you very much for this summit.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next, I'll call on the candidate of PDP. Candidate of PDP or the representative of PDP. I've just been told that the candidate is represented by the PDP secretary.
Thank you very much. Let me stand on the existing protocol. Your Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, my apology, I just have to rush in because I was trying to attend to one administrative job outside. As we all agree that today is our flag off. Subject to empirical proof, we all know how agog the whole town is. Now, let me say this. Let me commend the organizers of this program because I will say it's a round peg in a round hole. Even though PDP, as a party, we are committed to that which we all know to be peaceful, as the case may be. We are not new to things like this. But the first thing is that we must commend the organizers. Having said that, we all know that Ondo State, the Sunshine State, is a peaceful state. But we as major political stakeholders, we must take home to our followers. I love what the guest speaker, when he was trying to say, give a kind of definition to who a thug is. I love the way he was able to color it. It means that even an average professor who has done that which is not in tantamount with that which he has been sent is a thug. It means that an average individual not following the instruction given to him or that which he ought to do on the election day is a thug. Then who are the people who we are going to call the thugs on this election day? I hope it's not going to be you and I. But the message is this. Let's conduct ourselves in a manner. The major stakeholders.
And you talk of peace.
And we want your commitment to
These
peace.
are the ways we can have social justice. Thank you so much. To be committed to peace as a political party, the African Action Congress, we want to say that the whole of the stakeholders in this election must also be committed to peace. We must all be allowed to use the parks, the venues, in an affordable manner. That is the only way to be committed to peace. For our political party, we have always been known as a very peaceful political party, and we'll keep doing that. But at the back of that, we are saying there cannot be real peace without economic, social, and political justice. Thank you.
Please, we encourage other candidates to stick to the contents of these parts of this discussion, demonstrating commitment to peaceful election. Please, let's stick to it. The Commandant, sir.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll call on the representative or the candidate of the Party AA. Do we have a representative of Party AA? Action Alliance. Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make this positive confession that peace is going to reign in Ondo State in Jesus' name. Peace will reign in Jesus' name. Now, I want to thank Excellency and the organizers of this program. I want to say that, let me introduce myself. I am Comrade Fred Akinwuli Omolere. I am the candidate of Action Alliance in the forthcoming election. I want to confirm this as the candidate of the party. We'll be attending series of meetings with INEC, and with the arrangement and with what is coming from INEC, it shows that INEC is fully prepared for this election. And I'm very optimistic that INEC will deliver and we are going to have free and fair election in Ondo State. Talking about peace, I will not take too much of your time, but let me talk directly to the political parties. We are mostly concerned when we are talking about peace. If you want peace to reign, we political parties, candidates, we must follow the path of peace. As a grassroots politician, I discovered that, you see, the electorate out there, many of them are non-partisan. What do you need to do? Go out and campaign. Go out and tell them what you want to do. They only listen to your superior appeal. It's not about castigating others. It's not about insulting others. That is not what we need. Go and tell them what you want to do. And many of them, they will ask you, Kilefe Shefunwa. And before you know it, they will follow you and they will cast their vote for you. Let me, at this point, say that for Action Alliance in Ondo State, as a political party and as the candidate of the party, we are fully committed to peace in this forthcoming election. God help us in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We would like to call on the representative or the aspirant for the YPP. If you're here, can you please come forward? Is there a representative for ADP?
Is justice, fairness, and equity. So anything that does not embody these three would not bring peace. But as a party, as a young progressive party, we are committed to peace in the next election in all the processes that attaches or has to do with the election. And I would like to quickly address something before I go, because that is one of the things that bring peace. We represent the young generation. The generation is creative and the generation that has the strength. The keynote speaker made mention of sin. His Excellency, the governor, also rated on it. And that is the social media candidate. I would like to say that the sin reality has not caught up with most people. That the young people find a base, or let me say a medium, to communicate, to it, and to talk to themselves. So it would not be fair to us for those efforts to be ridiculed. Let me also say that that is the cheapest medium. We have not embezzled any money. We are not thieves. We are not money bags. We are professionals in politics that have done well for ourselves. And we say no to such statements and franchises people from the medium where they could, let me say, where they could talk to themselves and tell people about the manifesto. But for peace, let us reiterate once again that we will be for peace that is predicated once again on the principles of justice, fairness, and equity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. ADP. ADP and PRP should get ready.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, in person of Honorable Lok Orimisun Ayedatiwa, to the Deputy Governor, I also want to thank you all for giving me this privilege to stand in front of you. Well, when they say peace, even Matthew 5:9 says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." And for real, I will be sincere with you. Ondo State is our own. And we must make sure that we stand to make sure there is peace in the state. And again, this peace within doesn't fall on political parties alone. It's on both sides. I'm talking about our religious leaders, the security personnel, etc., like that. We want you all to embrace peace. You know, and again, for the HINEC, we want you to use this medium to assure us that come November 16, the winner. I mean the wish of the whole state, announce without fear. That is the only way that the peace that we are talking about will always come out. And again, for all of us who have come here, let's see that the state has been a peaceful state for so long. We will continue to be peaceful. Come November 16, by God's grace, we pray that the will of God be done on state. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. The representative of PRP, if you're here. While he's coming on, we would like to call on the representative of the Youth Council. I learned the chairman is here, Comrade Ogumolawa Matthew. We want to also make a commitment on behalf of the youth.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimisun Ayedatiwa, permit me to stand on all existing protocols. Sunshine and abroad, we greet you. My name is Babatunde Francis Ali, and I am the governorship candidate of the People's Redemption Party. Commitment to peace. Our people must know this time around that having quietness around is not necessarily tantamount to peace. Peace could be that of a graveyard, a peace that people have where you are apprehensive, where you are afraid. For the PRP, we have nothing less than commitment to absolute peace in Ondo State. There is nothing good that can happen in an environment where there is no assurance of a clear-cut tomorrow. When there is apprehension as to what needs to eat, there is no peace. And for PRP, a party that is committed to nothing but the well-being of the downtrodden, well-being of the masses. A political party with principles, and the first three is about people, people, and people, less than commit to peace. So as far as we are concerned in PRP, we are heavily committed to the peace of Ondo State. Let me, however, add, sirs, that I've observed a particular trend whenever this kind of summit comes up. And I like to, for us in Ondo State, not to repeat what has happened in other places. Please know this, I have not been political here. I have observed that by protocol, the leader of the state, who is the governor, will have to give his speech. But at the end of the day, the governor of that state does not give this commitment. We've observed it. I would therefore call on the leader of the state as of today to please do not allow Ondo State to be different, sir. When all the candidates have done their, kindly do that. I appreciate your speech the other time, but we still want you to do this. Thank you so much, and thank you, Sunshine Asobanabod.
Thank you very much. Well, I have next on my list the Executive Governor of Ondo State. I think our friend from PRP should have just waited for us to have the commitment of the Governor of Ondo State and the candidate of the APC. Your Excellency, I've been told that you have just 2 minutes, sir.
I'm not campaigning, so let me adopt the protocol that earlier been established, not without acknowledging my other co-contestants for this position. I acknowledged you earlier. Because I came in, I was just channeled to this seat, and after that, they brought me up. So I wasn't able to scan through. But later, I saw the beard of Alhaji Abbas. And at that time, I can't go back to start recognizing you. But now that I've been given this second chance, an opportunity to speak again, thank you, candidate of People's Redemption Party, PRP. Thank you. Before you made that remark, my name has already been penciled down to also commitment. So it's not because you said it, so it's already part of the lineup, the program. So let me say that I took an oath as your governor to ensure that I maintain peace in Ondo State. It's the primary mandate of any government, security and welfare of the people. I will never allow the people I'm going to govern to engage in violence that will lead to maiming, killing, and arson in any form. I will ensure that as governor, because I'm wearing two caps here. First of all, as governor of the state, a sitting governor, and also candidate of the party. So maybe I was ushering as governor. Maybe when I finish making this, I'll come and see you there to sit and shake all of you. So on my honor, I promise to ensure that that oath that I took on that day to maintain peace to people, I'm still reaffirming that same now, that I will ensure during, before, during, and after this November 16th governorship election in Ondo State, that peace will be maintained. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, the Executive Governor and the candidate of APC. Next, I'd like to call on the representative of the youth. If you're here, can you please come forward? 2 minutes, please. I've been told I should tell the my boss and the Commissioner of Police to make a commitment on behalf of the security agencies. And then we'll call on the REC as well to make a commitment on the part of INEC. Thank you very much.
Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I am Pathfinder Malawa Matiwa Dewale, the State Chairman of National Youth Council of Nigeria, State Chapter. At the part of the youth, where the people of Ondo State, that this election is going to be peaceful. As youth body, the voluntary youth organizations, the stakeholders in the youth setup, we have been meeting, we have been educating why the election should be peaceful. One, we believe that this is our Jerusalem. We did not have any other state to go. And another thing that we believe is that youth are the instruments of thuggery or violence. But this time around, we have decided that we will not allow any party to use us as youth of this state. And we are assuring the people of Ondo State that the election will be peaceful. And we are going to do our own quota. We are mobilizing ourselves to vote and not fight. And by the grace of God, God will help us. God bless you.
Thank you very much. And so I'll call, this is the turn for my constituency. So I'll call on the CP statement on behalf of the security agencies.
Thank you, the Commandant, NSDC, Ondo State. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimison Aidatiwa, permit me to use you as a point of contact for all aspirants and other government functionaries that are here, the panelists. In my welcome address, the last thing I said was our commitment to ensuring professionalism and best to, on behalf of all security agencies in Ondo State, make commitments to be professional, work with every stakeholders in election management to ensure peace, free, and credible election upcoming November 16 governorship election in the state. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. The CP will call now on the REC to speak on behalf of INEC. Oh, she doesn't have a chance.
Thank you very much. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I stand here today representing INEC, and I commit, I want all stakeholders to know that INEC is committed to justice, fairness, and equity, without which you cannot have a peaceful election. We are work is to conduct an election and ensure that an election that has its integrity, free, fair, transparent, and inclusive. We commit to peace in Ondo State as we have started working with all stakeholders. We have been engagement, advocating where we should. This election will be free, it will be fair, there will be equity, it will be transparent, there will be integrity. I want to assure the people of Ondo State, every vote will count. On our part in INEC, we will not do anything that will affect the peace and stability of the state. On people, we have been doing a lot to build the trust of people. Trust us. Trust us. Trust INEC. every vote will surely count. Commit to peaceful election. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the REC. And I think we've come to the end of this session now. Over to the anchor.
A round of applause, please, for the Commandant of Nigeria Security in Ondo State, CC. Thank you very much for that exercise. We'll be done in the next few minutes. If you was just asking me that they did not tell us that we would have to go to this court, but I said first, and I think it have happened anyway. From the audience, in the next 5 minutes, answer session will be happening in 5 minutes. So if you have questions, please summarize your thoughts. As long as you'll be able to articulate your thoughts in 30 seconds, we are good. Whatever answer we are providing or question will be done in 1 minute. So please, from the audience, if you have questions, please raise your hand. Just 3 people. Just 3 people have questions. And if we don't have, we can just move on. Now, there's one thing for me that keeps ringing, and I know that for all of us here as stakeholders, and for people who are here, members of the panel, there is a question that I want to thrust to the Reverend Father. In the next 10 years, Father, if we will have this conversation with these stakeholders sitting here and with these members of the panel, if we want to talk about preparations for elections and peaceful elections, do you think the conversation will be different in the next 10 years?
I don't really pray that the conversation should be different, because we are committed to peace. And that, as Jesus Christ even said, that if you want to even anything to God, first thing is to make reconciliation with. So if we are committed to peace, committed to everything, it should be an everlasting. And the word of God to every one of us, the first thing is peace after he resurrected. And he asked us to go and give that peace. So we should not change the mandate of Jesus Christ. And Ondo State is, I know, is committed to that. Even in 10 years, beyond 10 years, we should be committed to working with peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll just take that to the Chief Imam. In 30 seconds on this issue of peace, one final thought from you before we move to the resident electoral commissioner.
Thanks so much. Ondo State is known for the peace, and we believe that peace will continue in our society. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Now, straight to the resident electoral commissioner. In 1 minute, there is a question that keeps popping up in gatherings like this, and even outside gatherings like this. There are people who have concerns about the vast nature of hard-to-reach communities in Ondo State. Hard-to-reach communities in Ondo State. Ondo State. Yes, hard to reach. Now, what arrangement has INEC put in place? Yes, hard to reach. Now, what arrangement has INEC put in place? Because as much as we have promised peace, as much as we have a lot of people demanding for justice, can you just give in 1 minute the space you have made for these communities to ensure that materials get to them on time, their election results get to the capital on time?
Thank you very much. Hard-to-reach communities, which you are talking about, is what hard-to-reach communities, which you are talking about, is what we call make sure materials and men get there on time. Let me give you an example. We still have places in Ondo State that you cannot reach with vehicle. You have to use motorcycle. We have places where you need to trek. We have places where you need to use boats to reach. So these are the places we call difficult terrain. We have already made necessary arrangements on how to get to those polling units to ensure that people open on time and they come back on time. You see, the issue of coming back or returning or examining the results, you see, engaging with transporters. We have talked with the Maritime Workers Union.
It is important for everyone to play their role in mitigating electoral violence. Now, I would like for us to take a look at everything we have discussed here today and 20 real practical steps. Because some people will say this is not the first time we are having conversation like this? How do we convert them into action? It is not enough for us to just come here, have a summit, or write, or speak. It's a practical step for us. At this point, I want to borrow something from the legal experts in the House, that they would say, justice must not only but must be seen to be done. To all of us, to all stakeholders, to everyone involved, to do our part to ensure that the forthcoming election in November 16 in Ondo State is peaceful. Thank you to all our distinguished members of the panel for your insight, and to our audience for your thoughtful engagement. I believe that all of us together, we are here in Ondo State. We would make Ondo State a better state, and after the election, we will come back and have a conversation, and we will know that we truly had a peaceful election in Ondo State. Thank you very much. The members of the panel, we had the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Ondo State, the very Reverend Father Ansem Olugunwa. Thank you very much. And we have the chief imam of Akure, Alhaji Sheikh Dr. Abdulakim Yahya. Thank you very much. Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, Resident Electoral Commissioner. Thank you very much. Mr. Franklin Oloniju, Chairperson, Ondo Coalition of Civil Society Organizations. Thank you very much. And the last but not least, when it comes to security, the we will be looking at the Commissioner of Police in Ondo State, CP Abayomi Peters. Thank you very much. My name is Oluwadamilola Taiwo. Thank you. God bless you.
We must appreciate you, member of the panel and the moderator, Damilola Taiwo, for the job well done. Ladies, let's have a photograph, quickly. A photograph. Please quickly, a photograph, sir. A photograph. Sir, Mr. Franklin, the CP, sir. The photograph, quickly. Thank you very much. Let's be gender sensitive, please. All right. The representatives that are here, please join them on the podium. We want to recognize ADC and PM. Other aspirants here, please join them. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. As our guest dignitaries are stepping down, please get ready the national anthem so that we can officially. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. National anthem. Please, let's take the national anthem. Let's rise and take the national anthem, please. And that will signal the official closing to this discussion that we had today.
Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this wonderful program. I must say we've had a fruitful deliberation. I'm your moderator. My name is Promise Inumison. And once again, we want to appreciate you for coming and for Kimpact Development Initiative for packaging this program. Let's make sure that we have a peaceful election. Please, let's walk the talk.